Wait, before I get Zoltraaked by the entire Frieren community, this is not a video trashing it. I'm actually having a great time. It's the anime me and my mom are currently watching, and we're having a blast, like, honestly.
So I just got back from a convention, and my mom really likes Frieren, so I got her this signature from the English voice actor for Frieren. She was awesome, but I think she's gonna enjoy this a lot. Hey, Mom.
What's up, son?
So remember that convention I went to earlier today?
Yeah.
Well, the voice actor for Frieren was there, and I know you like her a lot, so here you go.
Aww.
Yeah, I know you like the character a lot, so I thought you would enjoy it.
Son,
Yes?
yourself.
Mom, why would you say that to me?
Because she says it in the show, in that one cool scene, I thought it would be funny.
Mom, that's not how that works. You can't just tell me.
If I were to say one thing that I find the most interesting, it would probably be the show's perspective on the demon race and how they perceive mana as status, but that's a whole different video entirely. The other thing would probably be the main character, Frieren. Ah yes, the short, powerful, and eepy elf mage we've gotten to know throughout the entirety of the show. While she's pretty withdrawn about her past, one thing that's consistent throughout the entirety of the show is this sense of strength that is related to her character. The main comedic aspect the show falls back on is while she is strong, she tends to be very lazy, unbothered, and doesn't really take magic too seriously, considering magic more of a hobby rather than a means to an end. And also mimics, but I think that's another problem at her core. Then it got me thinking, is she actually strong? I don't really think she is. Well, okay, well she is, but she... Just let me explain. Alright, before I start, I want to play a little game, okay? It's called Life Speedrun. The main competitors being the pinnacle of the VTubing world, Lemoyne, versus this weird, short, stubby, sharp-eared creature. 3, 2, 1, go!
Give me your money.
God damn it. This isn't too arguable in the show. Humans are mortal and bound to pass eventually. I mean, just look at the first episode, where Himmel's and Hyder's death were the main focus. And with the sense of mortality, the show constantly reminds the viewer of humanity's triumph over it. An instance of this, and in my opinion one of the best parts of the show, is when they revive one of the strongest demons in the Great War, Qual. Kind of reminds me of Quail, like Quail egg, whatever. Next line. What made Qual so strong was their special spell, Zoltraak. An all-powerful attack able to pierce any defense spell at the time. But after the war and Qual's containment, sorcerers and Frieren made it their sole mission to dissect and research this spell as much as possible to ensure a spell like this wouldn't be in the wrong hands again. And after 100-ish years, humans were able to make such a powerful, detrimental spell essentially powerless, something taught in the basics. We will never win against death, but the constant evolution and adaptation of adversaries and challenges are what makes us who we are as a race. Oh my god, is that why Maharaga looks more human-like? God fucking... Why am I just figuring this out now? So stupid. We are shown this quite consistently with the other main characters, Stark and Fern. While human, they are one of the strongest characters that we get to know well, able to keep up and surprise Frieren at times. However, that can only get us so far, with aging always being a constant reminder that our time on this earth will come to pass eventually. This idea is essentially non-existent with Frieren. Elves are... elves. All-knowing and all-strong. They don't think of the idea of triumphing over death by doing the most they can and adapting to challenges fast, not because they're any less human. Well, technically they aren't human in the first place, but you guys know what I mean, right? It's because they are literally incapable of understanding it. Without worrying about making the most out of their time in the world like humans, elves are able to do what they please, without the worry of their lives abruptly ending. An easy instance of this can be seen in the earlier episodes, where Fern gets frustrated at Frieren's nonchalant and laid-back nature in missions, and overall just how slow life is. Fern is already at the age where they want action, adventure, and anything to make her life feel more meaningful. The episode ends with Frieren coming to an agreement of where Fern is coming from and promises to be more proactive. Now, I didn't say understand. This is because I personally believe Frieren will never understand how this feels. Fern's life is essentially a day off of work and adventuring when comparing her life to Frieren's. So, no matter how much Fern will train and focus her efforts in the magical arts, the experience that comes with immortality is incomparable. Fern, Stark, Himmel, and even some of the other demons see her as all-powerful, but not everyone. As you can see, I'm based. I shall consider it Sigma to phantom tax the head of the Gunner myself. A fact that is constantly brought up is Frieren expressing that magic is more of a hobby to her than anything, not really aspiring for infinite knowledge or power and having an interest in spells that have more practical uses. There's no denying that her strength is unrivaled compared to most of the characters in the show, but it's always undermined by her constant dismissal of her own power. What also bothered me is that Frieren is not known to be a liar in the show, being 100% honest in the attempted murder of those innocent demon ambassadors. Like, seriously, it was on sight the moment she saw him. She wasted no time. It was kind of funny. This is not just seen in the present day. Even in her upbringings hundreds of years prior, she wasn't really too interested in magic, only getting into it because of Flamma and her natural high mana output. Frieren is not saying that magic is a hobby or saying that she's not actually strong to make others feel better about themselves. It's that she literally sees herself as weak and doesn't take it too seriously. The only reason why she is seen as strong is because we're with humans for most of the show. However, this perception that people see Frieren as tends to fade with the other mythical creatures, especially demons and other elves. An example of this can be seen in the fight with Aura and Frieren. You know that scene. With how epic and iconic this scene is, it's easy to miss how Frieren herself said that Aura would most likely win in a head-on fight. The only reason why Frieren won this fight was a mixture of Aura's arrogance and reliance on the spell of obedience. How the fuck do you... Asurlis? The spell of obedience. This is just one instance of Frieren's perception of strength and overwhelming power fading. More start to rear their heads during the mage exam, specifically with Ziria and the reveal of Frieren's weakness. Before you guys flame me, that's how they pronounce it in the dub, okay? Ziria, okay? There is no doubt that Ziria is stronger than Frieren by a long shot, with the show even describing her as a living grimoire with almost infinite knowledge and spells. Aside from a couple characters, there haven't been too many that rival or are downright stronger than Frieren, but that's just because we rarely encounter mythical creatures other than her throughout the entire journey. But that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at. For the entirety of the show, most of the characters we come across think that Frieren is strong. But the moment a mythical creature is introduced into the show, like Aura, Ziria, and even Croft see her as average or weaker than themselves. The last and strongest point that supports this is her fatal flaw. Anytime she casts a spell, her mana becomes non-existent. It's basically the same as closing your eyes when pulling the trigger of a gun. Most people do it instinctively when they start out and have to train in order to stop doing it. Frieren still blinks when she pulls the trigger just because she's basically a scholar first and a combat mage second. This powerful, stubby elf, a presence so powerful she was granted the title of Frieren the Slayer, has a weakness that is so novice it makes my blacksmithing progress look like Picasso. And before you laugh, this is my first knife, okay? Please don't bully me in the chat. Fuck me. I'm not saying that again. Before I go further, I think Denkin summarizes this entire video perfectly.
致命的な隙だ。なぜ戦っている時に気がつかなかったんだ。いや、手だれという先入観があったからこそ気づけなかった。
She's not experienced because she's strong. It's just because she's fucking ancient. This is absurd. I'm a great streamer who has been edging for over 500 years. Now back to the question at hand. Why is Frieren portrayed as being so strong in the show, but is able to be defeated by demons and even humans alike? She's not strong because her constant pursuit of power or strength, but it's because she's immortal, using her experience and mana she has accumulated over a millennia to her advantage. And because there seems to be a need to defend yourself in this world, it was probably crucial to learn at least some spells to defend yourself. But at her core, she cares very little about the spells of that nature. All the points I mentioned in this video is why she can almost one-shot anything, but also takes a long time to cast it. Why she's been bested 11 times in her lifetime. Why her one and only weakness is so novice. It's because she's old, not strong. I recommend checking out this video. While finishing the script, I realized most of the points that we talk about are pretty similar, but they go further in depth about the overpowered anime trope as a whole. But anyways guys, that's the end of the video. As per usual, I'll leave some clips with some audio. Enjoy. I'm okay. I can play this game. Come here, bitch! Come here, bitch! Yeah! Oh my god, I've never knocked out one of his limbs before. That's so sad. Never mind. Never mind. I almost felt sympathy for a fucking insect.
Guys, I need...
Invest in like a tutor or maybe a friend that you can have online that is taking the same classes. What the fuck?